Breaking the silence, taking the dive in. Nikki pulling strings like she playing a violin. Made in his likeness, radiant vibrance. Give him all glory, ain't no way to deny it. She gon' make you laugh, she gon' stimulate your mind. Making things shake, she ain't into wasting time. They can come close but can't imitate the grind. Got a different way to illustrate and innovate designs. BTS podcast, gotta watch that. Teaching us the game, that mean Nikki got class. If you watch it once, you gon' wanna stop back. This an opportunity that you cannot pass. Unleash your inner voice, cause better days coming. Better days, get ready for better days. Better days, better days. Better days, get ready for better days. Better days, better days.
Have you ever had one of those weeks where no matter how much you tried, it just didn't go right? Have you ever had one of those weeks where no matter how hard you worked, you still felt like you were falling behind? That was my week. That was my week, y'all. I was editing episodes, recording guests, being a mother, being a wife, working, trying to show up for everybody. Then I looked in the rearview mirror and saw blue lights. Let's talk about it. All right, so welcome back, y'all, to another Sunday reflection on the Breaking the Silence podcast. I am your host, Arthur Nikki Nicole, and Sunday reflections started out as like 60-second videos, and I was like, you know what? I think I should do an episode instead because sometimes these weeks be heavy, y'all. They really do be heavy. But can I be honest with y'all? Just for a minute. This week, I almost lost it. Not because one big thing happened, but because about 50 little things happened all at one time. One right after another. Have you ever had one of those weeks? Listen, it was just trying. Where you wake up already tired, you go to bed thinking about tomorrow, and somewhere in the middle, you start recognizing yourself. That was me this week. And then right when I thought the week couldn't get any crazier, blue light showed up behind me. But we'll get to that in a minute. But first, let me tell you how I got here. Everybody sees the podcast, right? Everybody sees the podcast. Everybody sees the thumbnails. Everybody sees the interviews. And everybody sees the clips. Everybody says, you're doing your thing. You're doing your big thing. And I appreciate every single one of those comments. Believe me. But nobody sees what happens before I hit upload. Nobody sees me sitting at the computer at 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. Y'all, sometimes I don't go to bed until 7, 8 o'clock the next morning. From sitting up all night long, trying to finish editing, trying to make sure every guest looks their best, trying to make sure that every thumbnail catches your attention, trying to make sure that the descriptions are right, trying to make sure that I get everything right. Answering emails, answering messages, trying to stay ahead the best way I know how. But honestly, I felt like I was behind. See, people celebrate what they see. They never see what it costs. And just when I thought, okay, I finished this, life said, no, you didn't, because I'm not just a podcaster, y'all. I'm a mother, and my baby doesn't care that mama has deadlines. She wants mama. I'm a wife. Marriage doesn't pause because YouTube has an upload to schedule. I'm a daughter. My mama still calls. We talk every day. I'm also a friend. People still need somebody to listen to, right? And sometimes I laugh when people say, how do you do it?" I wonder that sometimes myself. But truth is, y'all, some days I don't know. I'm just trying to make it to bed on time. Or at least at just make it to bed, period. That's it. And sometimes being strong, it gets lonely because everybody assumes you got it and you got it all together. You'll always figure it out. You'll be okay. But eventually, you stop telling people when you're not okay because everybody expects you to be strong, right? Have you ever been there where you're checking on everybody else, but nobody knows you're running on empty? Nobody knows. But this is not for the weak. It's not for the weak. So let's talk about my recent experience, y'all, with the police stop. And I wasn't expecting this at all. I was literally just out there, y'all, trying to do what I normally do, Uber Eats. I was delivering food on the base, like I always do. And I just stopped for a moment to get the GPS right so I can find my way off this base. So when I got the GPS right, I proceeded to go. And right when I pulled out, I saw the cop come by, but I didn't think about what this cop is doing because why should I? I wasn't doing anything wrong. Cop turns around, do a U-turn in the road, turns around, boom, lights goes on me. I wasn't expecting this. I really wasn't. I was already thinking about everything I still had to do: editing, recording, posting, scheduling, creating, working, being present. I wasn't thinking about what was happening in the moment, trying to be available, trying to be everything for everybody. Then looking in that rearview mirror, seeing them blue lights, y'all, my heart started to beat really, really fast. And this is like the first time, y'all, ever that I've been stopped by a police, and I felt that way. With everything that's going on in the world now, I really, I really had a fear, a sense of fear. I'm like, Lord, please. Only thing I could do is start praying. Lord, please just get me and my wife home safe to our daughter and back home. That's the only thing I could think about. And I actually said that to the cop. I was like, I'm just out doing food deliveries and I'm just trying to get back home to my babies in peace and safe. But I obliged. I pulled over, and as I sat there waiting, I was waiting for her to get out the car, to come to the car, to figure out what did I really do? Why was I stopped? And just sitting there, I'm like, Lord, please. Sitting there, next thing I know, another police car pulls up behind that car, and I'm like, oh my God, what's really about to happen? Because you see things on TV and you wonder, could this ever happen to me in real time? But just for those few moments, everything I had been stressing over didn't even matter anymore. Not the podcast, not the emails, not the editing, nothing. Because life has a funny way of reminding you what really matters. And thankfully, everything ended okay. I was able to drive away and go home. But just in that moment, I was like, Lord, anything can happen to anybody. But then I realized too that, okay, The police didn't stop my week. My week had already been stopped. It stopped me. I just hadn't, I didn't notice. But that moment made me ask myself something. Nikki, when was the last time you rested without feeling guilty? When was the last time you smiled without thinking about your to-do list? When was the last time you poured into yourself the way you pour into everybody else? And honestly, I couldn't answer that question. But maybe that's why you're here today. Maybe your week looked different than mine. Maybe you were going through things that you didn't know quite how to get out of that. Maybe you weren't pulled over. Maybe your stress isn't editing episodes. Maybe it's bills. Maybe it's anxiety. Maybe it's your marriage. Maybe it's your health. Maybe you're taking care of everybody while silently falling apart yourself. But if that's you, I need you to hear me now. You do not have to earn rest. You don't have to deserve peace. You're allowed to stop. You're allowed to breathe. You're allowed to say, I'm tired. I'm tired. But you know what? I'm learning that success doesn't mean anything if I lose myself to reach it. I'm learning that God never asked me to carry tomorrow while still holding yesterday. I'm learning that I can't pour from an empty cup. No matter how badly I want to help people, I'm learning that slowing down isn't falling behind. But before I leave, I want to ask you something. Not because I need engagement, but because I genuinely want to know, what has life been trying to teach you lately that you've been too busy to hear? Put your answers in the comments. Not for me, but for yourself. Because sometimes putting it into words, writing it down, is the first step toward healing. And if this conversation reminded you that you're not alone, send it to somebody who's been carrying more than they admit. Because I learned so much this week, y'all. And sometimes you have to learn the lessons and so you won't repeat them. And sometimes life knocks you down. I mean, knocks you down, but don't get knocked out. Don't get knocked out when life knocks you down. And sometimes life doesn't knock on your door and asks you to slow down, right? Sometimes it flips on the blue lights behind you. And that's when you realize you've been running on empty for far too long. So y'all take care of yourselves this week. Think about yourself this week. Get some self-care. And remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. And I'm learning that the hard way, y'all. You can keep pouring into everyone else if you can't keep pouring. Can't keep pouring into everyone else if you never stop to refill yourself. You can't. But I tell you what I will do this week, y'all. I can, I will, and I did do it. I kept going. You can't let life throw you off track from the things that you want to do in your life. You just got to do it. But you know what? Even though I'm learning this hard lesson about rest, you got to rest, y'all. You got to rest. So until next Sunday, y'all stay focused. Remember who you are and walk in this world like you know who you are. Love yourself. Take some time for yourself and step into who God has already created you to be. So I hope that y'all have an amazing Sunday. And I hope that your week is better than it was last week. Later, everybody.
better days. Slowly but surely it's a better space that awaits my mind, so I meditate till I levitate, I elevate, but I learn not to hesitate no more, keep moving forward, chase my goals and focus more towards it, hate the lows but I need those to flourish, place my goals in front, that's what's important. So I ask myself what inspires me, breaking out of my shell, feeling yo shot quiet me, and now I'm breaking the silence like I'm Nikki Nicole, let's go. Promise you gon' see better days. Gotta keep going till you see them. Promise you gon' see better days. You gotta keep going till you see them.